Is it what I expected? No. In a lot of ways, it was worse, but in a lot of ways, it's been a lot better than I expected. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the cold, hard truth about what it's like to become a realtor in 2021 and beyond. Stay tuned. And hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Stefanie Lugo, and I am obsessed with helping real estate agents explode their businesses and create their dream life. If you're into that kind of thing too, be sure to hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every time I'm dropping new videos just like this. So my first year in real estate was in 2015. And back then, I was getting into the industry with no experience. I had no idea how to be a realtor. I had no idea what real estate actually meant, especially in my community where we are in a huge metro in Phoenix and there's a lot of competition. So suffice it to say, I had a very steep learning curve getting into the industry. And I think that in 2021, it's even more difficult for new agents. The stakes are higher, the competition is more fierce, there are more realtors out there than ever. And so I think that this is a worthy conversation to have, especially if you're trying to decide if real estate is the right move for you. One thing that always really surprised me from my first year and for several years after that was how difficult it was to get clients. One of my realtor friends kind of worded it as, well, I was really surprised that when I got into the industry, they don't just give you houses to sell. And I think that we either come into the industry assuming that someone's going to give us leads, like our broker, who, by the way, we do not work for our broker, it's the other way around, or a team is going to give you leads or whatever. I think on the other side of that, you might just assume that you have a network of family and friends who will let you help them buy and sell houses. And it's just never that easy. That was one of the hardest things for us to wrap our mind around, is how difficult it would not only to get a seat at the table with clients, but to convince them to commit with us. In order to get around this obstacle that we faced, especially as newer agents, we really had to understand what made us unique and come up with a compelling reason why somebody should hire us over our competition, right? Like in my market, there are 50,000 plus licensed agents who are actively selling right now, right? So why would anybody choose us over our competition? That is something that you really have to understand getting into real estate, and the sooner you nail that down, the better. So to see a great example of this in action, check out this episode from the Market Authority Show where Jenny Selly shared her story of how she went from being a brand new agent to closing 20 deals in her first 6 months. She came to the Market Authority Academy right before she got licensed, and one of the things that Jenny really nailed was building up that brand story and understanding what made her unique and why somebody should hire her over her competition. And she's got the results to back it up. Now, the second big thing that really kind of threw us off was when we got into real estate, we were leaving our corporate finance jobs where we were stuck in these windowless, stuffy offices all day, and we were dreaming of a life of freedom and flexibility. And we quickly found out that yeah, you can have freedom and flexibility, but you gotta earn it. It quickly became the least flexible job we've ever had. We worked 7 days a week that first year, long days. I think back to it sometimes and I almost feel like I have PTSD because we had so much to prove. We had a mortgage, we had to replace our corporate finance 9-to-5 salaries. We had a lot that we at stake in our first year. And so we worked a lot harder than we needed to because we didn't have the plan in place. We had to come up with the plan as we went. And looking back, if I had the plan that I have now, and if I knew what I know now, our first year would have been way easier and we would have been way more successful on top of what we actually accomplished just by reducing the overwhelm of not knowing what we didn't know. There was nothing more exhausting than waking up every day and thinking of the 10,000 things that we felt like we needed to do, but have no system on how to prioritize that workload and come up with a routine on how to stay consistent. You can have freedom and flexibility as a real estate agent, but you have to build in that structure from scratch. Nobody's gonna give you the business plan when you get into the industry. No one's gonna tell you what you have to do. No one's gonna give you the path to success. You have to figure it out on your own. or you can check out the Market Authority Academy. So this is why I began mentoring agents, because that first year was so difficult and I realized that it just didn't need to be that way. And so in the Market Authority Academy, I'm helping real estate agents create that structure, create that path and those systems for their business to finally get that freedom and flexibility. It takes a lot of work, but if you think about it, definitely worth it. The third cold hard truth about being a realtor in 2021, especially in such a competitive market. We're in a super competitive seller's market right now, and things are very fluid. Don't count your commission until it closes. That was a truth that we had to learn time and time again. Even if you get a client's offer accepted and you're moving them through escrow, anything can happen. And we quickly learned that you don't count your income until you've cut the check and you're taking it to the bank. Which back then, we literally did get our checks cut and take it to the bank. So that's actually true. Anything can happen. And you should know that even if you get a buyer who is like, they seem rock solid, great fit, super committed to buying their first home, even those leads only convert at about 70%. Even if you get the employment agreement, I mean it, because you never know what happens. They end up getting a last minute opportunity to move out of state, or they lose their financing because they, have an employment issue or financing issues. Like, nothing is for certain, and there are so many variables that are outside of your control to where you always want to overestimate how many leads and clients you need to hit your revenue and production goals, and you never count it as a sure thing until it is in the bank. Speaking of money, another cold hard truth is I don't think real estate agents actually make as much money as they think that they do when they get into the business, right? I think that all of us have an idea of what an agent might make, but when you actually get down to it, there are so many other fees and costs that a lot of agents do not account for. And so part of what we're doing in the Market Authority Academy is challenging those ideas right away so that agents can best prepare themselves to be able to hit their revenue and production goals. So I'm actually going to teach you how to do this in a future video that's coming up on how to make 6 figures and beyond in your first year, where I break down the actual process for this. But here's what you need to know. When you are a real estate agent, you're getting paid as an independent contractor, and most agents are really bad about setting aside the taxes and savings that they need to. And so one thing that we began doing right away as new agents was putting away 30+% of every single commission check into savings. And I think that there may have been like a period of time where we were not that good at that, and that's when we began running into problems in our business. And ever since then, we have been absolutely religious about, we get that check, we take a good hefty portion of it, put it away for taxes, because you're gonna have to pay your taxes either quarterly or yearly, depending on what your CPA says. And yes, if you're getting into real estate and you are not hiring a really good CPA, you're crazy. But definitely listen to them. They will tell you how much to set aside. On top of that, you also have all of these other fees too. You have your dues, you have your broker fees, you have your transaction fees. And by the way, all the marketing that you want to do, say you want to get some open house signs or listing signs, maybe some cool flashy folders and business cards, more than likely, yeah, your brokerage might be able to supply some of those, but you're going to be on the hook for all those costs too. So anticipate probably around 10% of your forecasted revenue to be set aside for marketing costs just in and of itself. And number 5, the last cold hard truth about being in real estate that I wanted to share was you have a lot more control than you think you do. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of times it can feel as if our business is very unpredictable. Like the call comes out of nowhere when somebody's ready to buy or sell. What's really happening is all of those opportunities are a result of something that you did. So there are different activities that we are doing every single day that will turn into opportunities 90 days from now. We're on a 90-day sales cycle. This is something that I wish that I really honed in on a lot sooner than I did, is just really creating a routine about the way I was prospecting and marketing myself, because it would seem really random when leads would come in or referrals from our sphere would come in, but really it's happening from those little pieces of marketing and prospecting that you're putting out there. And if you're tracking your metrics properly, every referral can be sourced back to a call that you've made or a lunch date that you went on or a conversation that you had with the person who referred them. So you do have a lot more control in terms of how quickly your business is going to grow. It is a numbers game. You have to monitor those metrics and you have to get really disciplined in doing the right activities to procure those results. You're gonna really want to rely on motivation when you're new in real estate, but that's a mistake. You have to rely on discipline because motivation and inspiration, they're not quantifiable. They come and go, right? And you don't control when you're going to wake up like Cinderella in the morning feeling amazing and ready to crush it, okay? You have to rely on discipline and the habits that are going to take you from 0 to 6 figures and beyond. Okay, how does that feel? I hope I didn't totally scare you away from becoming a real estate agent if you were on the fence, because it is an amazing industry and it has created the life for me that I never could have imagined. And it has given me more opportunities to meet incredible people, go incredible places, and do really kick things, excuse my language. And so I definitely suggest that you check it out. Do a little more research if you've been on the fence and go for it. But go eyes wide open. Now, if you are in the thick of things and you're really trying to find traction, guess what? I actually have a free training coming up. So depending on when you are watching this video, all those details to register for that live training are below, and you can actually hang out with me virtually where I'm gonna walk you through an incredible training that's gonna help take a lot of the guesswork out of this. So register below, and if that time has already come and passed, depending on when you've watched it, I'll have the link to the replay there as well so you can catch it anyway. Or if you're ready for a fast track now, you can always apply to the Market Authority Academy below as well. I have all the details on how to coach directly with me, where I give you the strategies that you need to triple your business this year. So I really look forward to chatting with you directly to see if working together is a good fit. If you found value from this video, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification icon as well to be notified every time I'm dropping brand new videos just like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, keep on crushing it.